Welcome to Beat Diabetes. I'm Dennis Pollock, and who is this next to me, this lovely individual?
I'm Benedicta.
Benedicta Pollock. So we are together for a little taste test and a blood sugar test. You know, when we first got to know each other, you were pretty skinny. And I can remember saying to you, when I get you to America, I'm going to have to fatten you up. And you said, one of the things that made me laugh so hard, you said, how are you going to do that with what? What did you say?
I said, what are you going to fatten me up with? You're going to feed me with pork?
Yeah, you called it pork meat.
And I feed me pork meat?
I just got the biggest kick out of that. And, first of all, pork meat isn't likely to fatten anybody up anyway, but just the way you said it, I thought was funny. Anyway, we've got some pork meat today. We've got some bacon. Americans love bacon. I doubt you ate that much bacon in Nigeria, huh?
No, I didn't really, eat that much bacon.
Yeah. Most Americans would hardly know what to do without bacon. So anyway, and of course, next to no carbs, unless they put a lot of extra sugar in it. Most bacon will not have sugar in it. And we're going to have BLTs. You know, when I first went low carb, I was a little depressed about the fact that I can never have sandwiches again. Sandwiches are out. It's going to be meat and salads and meat and salads and meat and salads, but no sandwiches. And, of course, I realized, number one, the chaffle. You can make that into a bun of some kind or a bread. Yeah. And we're going to give that a taste test to see how that works with a BLT. And then, of course, there's keto bread. Keto bread. This one that we're using today is called Keto Culture White. And one of the things that I often tell folks is I'm not real sure about a lot of these keto breads. You'd have to test them yourself and see how they work. And I thought, well, Dennis, you've said that and said that and said that. I'm not so sure. They make me a little nervous. You got to test them. I thought, why don't we just do it for our Beat Diabetes viewers?
Right.
So here we go. Are you ready for a test?
Ready for a test.
Now, I'm not even going to test the chaffle BLT, except we'll do a taste test just to see how good it is.
Yeah.
But this one, we're actually going to do a blood sugar test. This one's the one we're going to eat mostly. We'll take just a taste of this chaffle to see how we like it. My rule is normally no more than 1 keto bread per meal and usually per day.
Okay.
So under normal circumstances, I would take 1 piece of keto bread, pile a bunch of bacon on it, tomatoes, put some mayonnaise on it, put some lettuce, and just let my fingers get a little bit dirty as I eat it.
Okay.
But for today, I'm not going to eat 1 piece of keto bread. I'm not going to eat 2 pieces of keto bread. I'm going to eat 3 pieces of keto bread. One will be a normal sandwich with top and bun, which is very unusual for me, and the other will be just an open-faced, bottom-only BLT sandwich. And we're going to find out. I don't know myself. I'm not even sure. A lot of the tests that I run, I've got a real strong idea about how they'll come out. I'm not sure about this. But we shall see. So my lovely assistant is going to make a couple of BLT sandwiches. B stands for bacon, L stands for lettuce, and T stands for tomato. And we've got all 3, and we throw in some mayonnaise, but we never call it a BLTM.
Okay.
We don't give mayonnaise that much credit, but we call it a BLT. So go ahead and start making.
So
one
chaffle? Or?
Both. Make 1 chaffle sandwich and make 1 with the keto bread. One of the beauties of the BLT is its simplicity and yet its amazing taste. Considering its few ingredients, it really has no business tasting as good as it does. It's exciting to think that this sandwich just might be able to be reclaimed and enjoyed by diabetics. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the ingredients, apart from the bread base, have very little carbs. Bacon, virtually none. Lettuce, virtually none. Tomato, some, but not much. So if you're going to get any kind of glucose rise or spike, it's going to have to come from what you're putting it on, not from the ingredients themselves. So we're going to try it this way. We're also going to try one with the chaffle. So for the verdict, the BLT with the chaffle or the BLT with the keto bread, or were they about equally good? Which one did you like better? Or
I like with chaffles.
you like the chaffle actually better?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. In my case, I found them almost identical because about all I was tasting was that yummy lettuce and the bacon. I mean, the not yummy lettuce, the yummy bacon.
Yeah.
And the lettuce and the tomato.
Yeah.
And you could taste it equally strong in both cases.
So good.
So I couldn't really find much difference. And they were both delicious.
Yeah.
So now, a little bit later, it's not quite supper time at the Pollock house yet, but not too far from now, we'll go ahead and eat a full keto sandwich plus another piece with some more bacon, lettuce, and tomato. And 3 times as much as I normally allow myself to eat, and we'll test ourselves.
Yeah.
And we'll see where it goes. You looking forward to this?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We are back, and we had a nice dinner tonight, right?
Yeah.
Bacon, lettuce, and tomato. We basically had 1.5 sandwiches made of keto bread and, of course, the bacon, lettuce, and tomato.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd report our scores. Go ahead and read your pre-meal, then I'll read mine, then we'll go on to the next 2 tests.
Yeah. I just want to say that it was, a great meal, and the blood sugar didn't really complain. I mean, my pre-meal was 101.
Right, and mine was 96, so that was the one case where I did better than you, but the others, you did better than me. So we had the meal, and what we always do is wait until the end of the meal, take our last bite, and then we start the timer. So the timer was set for 1 hour, 15 minutes, and at 1 hour, 15 minutes after that last bite of bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, what did you have?
I had 114.
Yeah, and 114 is really quite good considering you had about 3 pieces of bread. Now, granted, the keto bread is a little smaller than some of the bigger loaves of bread that you can buy, the normal bread.
One was it was 2 keto bread and 1 chaffle.
No, it wasn't. Okay, so we just discovered, talking among ourselves, you didn't hear that on camera, but your third piece of bread was a chaffle. That wasn't the idea of the experiment. We were trying to do 3 pieces of keto bread, and that's what I took. So that would explain why you got a 114. I mean, it could explain.
I did 2 keto bread and
1 chaffle.
1 chaffle.
I did 3 keto breads, and I got a 126. So 126 is not terrible, and there's probably some of you that are having really out of control blood sugar, and you're thinking, man, if I could have a 126 after a meal, I'd feel so happy. I'm over that when I just wake up in the morning. But anyway, that's not my situation. It could easily be if I didn't control myself. So then we timed for 3 hours after the meal, and the reason was sometimes these keto breads have a delayed effect, I have discovered, at least in one case with keto tortillas. So at 3 hours post-meal, you had a
102.
102, which is quite good. I had a 106, and something Benedicta doesn't yet know, but I'm going to reveal now, and she'll know along with you, is I did a cheating test.
You did?
While I was waiting for you to come up here, I tested myself another time.
Like right now?
Yeah, just a few minutes ago. And this would have been almost 4 hours after eating, about 3 hours, 45 minutes. And it was 94. So I was just wondering, all right, is there going to still be a delayed effect at this late time? And there wasn't. I was down to a 94. So 94 is quite good. We didn't do you. I'm sure you'd have done as well or better.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Now you're 94. Now I'm stuck with 102. What is that?
So the long and the short of it, in my case, is we definitely would have done worse if we'd used regular bread. I'm convinced of that. But 126 doesn't really satisfy me. I won't be doing that again. Basically, my rule of using only one keto bread type product in a meal, such as a BLT, you just use the bottom, don't put on the top. That's going to stand. I don't plan to change that. Had I got a straight 95 all the way down, I might think about changing it, but I didn't. You may say, well, Dennis, 126 isn't bad. It isn't. But when you're aiming for the lowest possible A1C, you don't even like to get into the 120s too often. Now, if I was at a special event or at friend's house where they were serving something that I really wanted to eat, then I might go ahead and eat something that would spike me. Anyway, it tasted good. Love that bacon flavor in the sandwich, don't you?
Yeah, it was really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
So you can eat BLTs. The one thing that would make me feel perfectly safe is to just do it with chaffles, because the chaffle is essentially two ingredients, an egg and some shredded cheese. Egg and cheese. And egg has no carbs to it to speak of, and neither does cheese. So you just don't have to worry when you use the chaffle. And we discovered you like the chaffle, even better than the keto bread.
Yeah.
I thought they were about equal. So the only negative to the chaffle versus the keto bread is the chaffle takes a little time to make, and you make a bunch of, we make them like 6, 7, 8 at a time using several different chaffle makers, and they last us for a while. If I just had one of those little mini chaffle makers, that would just be too much work to be constantly making them every day. But chaffles are safe. So this is Dennis and
Benedicta
signing off and saying God bless you, and we'll see you again soon. In addition to Beat Diabetes, Benedict and I do have another YouTube channel and another type of ministry. I'm referring to our Bible teaching channel, which goes by my name, Dennis Pollock. While you can only see Benedicta with me on Beat Diabetes occasionally, you can see us study the Bible together at our dining room table every Thursday. With all that we're doing, producing hundreds of videos and podcasts, sponsoring African missions, helping diabetics reverse their diabetes, giving food to African widows, and sponsoring free medical clinics in Nigeria and Kenya, we need your help. Please consider making regular contributions to Spirit of Grace Ministries.